Hi, welcome to Take 5. I'm Melissa Griffin, contributing editor for ProFood World magazine. According to Markets and Markets, a competitive intelligence and market research platform, the plant-based meat market was estimated to be a value of $4.3 billion in 2020 and will grow to $8.3 billion by 2025, with a CAGR of 14%. Research and Markets, a market research store, said that the worldwide plant-based meat market was $5.6 billion in 2020 and is forecasted to grow to $14.9 billion by 2027 with a CAGR of 15%. Clearly, this market is on the rise. However, how are consumers reacting to these meat alternatives? Revenue Management Services, a global business helping restaurants make data-driven decisions to increase their profits and margins, held a survey in November of 2021 with 802 restaurant goers throughout the United States. The individuals came from varying age groups and backgrounds. The numbers indicated that consumers' plant-based eating habits remained stable over the past year, with the biggest change being a 5% increase in the number of individuals eating plant-based meats once a month. However, it showed that even though there are more plant-based meats available than ever before, consumers are responding poorly to them. There was a 7% decrease in positive responses to the tastes of the products and a 10% increase in consumers disliking the very concept of plant-based meats. Yet, the survey also showed that this data is dependent on the age group of the individuals, as 56% of Gen Zers said that they like the taste of plant-based meats, which is 13% more than the overall response. Also, the survey showed that consumers are expecting plant-based meat products to cost the same as meat-based products, instead of be more expensive. For more on millennial and Gen Z influence on the market, check out the full story at the URL on screen.
I'm Aaron Hand, Editor-in-Chief of Pro Food World, here now to talk a bit about the recent Plant-Based Foods and Protein Summit in Chicago. This was a great look into how technology companies are planning for the future in what is still a nascent industry that's on this great growth trajectory. At this point, there are huge gaps in what's considered important by the brand owners, by the ingredient suppliers, the technology companies, and the research institutes. So the idea behind the summit was to help these groups better understand each other's goals. So presentations came from all parts of the value chain. Some broader insights into the plant-based industry came from Christian Flynn of the Plant-Based Foods Association. The general shift, he says, away from animal-derived foods is here to stay. The plant-based market has grown 54% since 2018. It grew 28% in 2020 alone and still saw a 6% rise in 2021. So with some further insights into the state of the plant-based industry, Meghana Kodali from Spins noted that the refrigerated space is the largest and dairy is really king right now in this plant-based space. So creams and creamers are seeing particularly explosive growth. And although shelf-stable is the smallest in terms of revenue, this space is ripe for innovation, she commented. So during a morning break, I was joking with the woman standing next to me about how this snack table full of plant-based cupcakes and plant-based cookies and brownies, she and I actually chose the plants on the table. We were eating apples and oranges. So what I didn't realize is that she was about to give a presentation in which she was commenting on that very notion, where we tend to forget about how good the plants are already, and we work so hard to turn them into something that looks like meat or a cupcake. So Lindsay McCorkle from Blue Horizon was largely talking about how the plant-based food industry could help reduce the carbon footprint of the food industry overall. But she also emphasized the need to diversify the plants we're using. We're asking an awful lot of these plants, asking soybeans to act like cows, for example. When you process them that much, it takes away some of the natural benefits, she said. And she asked, is there a better way to utilize plants without processing them so much? Many of the presentations I sat in on came from the technology companies, and they had a wide range of ideas about how best to handle that processing. So keep an eye out for the August issue of Pro Food World, where I'll be covering many of those technologies in our Tech Today feature. In the meantime, you can read more on some of our latest plant-based protein coverage from the links below. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any other topics you'd like us to cover in a Take 5 video, or if you're interested in participating, please get in touch with me at ahand@pmmimediagroup.com.